Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Up until the last video, I was actually in a good mood today. That one got me angry, and I'm very, very upset about the fact that I did actually get angry on a Friday. I didn't want to. I wanted to have a nice day, and that shit happens. Well, so much for that. We'll have to move on. What we're going to have a look at here, though, is something that is unusual, and I'm going to make a point of putting this one in now, after the SNP angered me there, because I'm actually going to try and get back to being nice. We have an SNP MSP, and she has suggested something that I agree with. And that's very rare that that happens, but I think this is something that I think most people would actually agree with. It is one of those rare events where someone from the someone from the SNP has a good idea, and it's something that we can accept. I'm going to suggest that what she's saying is slightly different. I'm going to say I kind of understand where she's coming from, but I'm also going to suggest something slightly different, just looking at this headline here. But we'll get into it and have a look. But it is just nice to do something nice again after that awful rat's ass Nicola Sturgeon story. So let's have a look. So MSP Claire Adamson calls for a ban on energy prepayment meters as Scots struggle to heat homes. The Motherwell and Wishaw MSP has hit out at the highly questionable billing practices used by some energy giants, which disproportionately impact the poorest households. Now, I'm actually agreeing with her in principle here. Either ban them, or, and this is where I'm going to go and say slightly different, is yes, retain them. But the important thing is, if you're going to retain them, then the charge for the electricity using those prepayments must be the same rate as everyone else pays. Otherwise, it is deeply, deeply unfair. You're taking the poorest in society and punishing them by charging them more for a basic living requirement. And that seems incredibly unfair. I can see a use of having a prepayment meter if it helps them budget. They don't have unexpectedly high bills. They can look to themselves. They can do it on a weekly basis or whatever. So I can see an argument for it, as well as an argument against banning it. But whatever way it is that price differential, I think, that is deeply, deeply unfair. And so for one of those very rare occasions, I'm actually agreeing with something that the SNP are suggesting. Isn't that a weird thing? I told you I was trying to be good. It's a Friday. I'm being excellent. I've just noticed something. Curious coincidence. Look at the girl there. Girl, please forgive me, Claire Adamson. Adamson. I'll get the name right. It's Friday. Me brain's gone. It's all that Nicola Sturgeon's infecting my brain like a cancer. I can't get her out. Anyway, take a look at her there. And then the advert to the right. Now, that advert on the right is an AI-generated image. But maybe that's what they base it on. Maybe when Claire was younger, that's what she would have looked like. Who knows? Anyhow, I just thought it was just a curious coincidence. Anyway, energy suppliers have been urged to find their moral compass by a Lanarkshire MSP and ban the forced instalment of prepayment meters as Scots struggle to heat their homes. Oh yes, no, definitely I can agree with that one. Disagree with, ban forced instalment. If someone wants to have it because of their budgeting or they have difficulty budgeting and things, absolutely fine. But the price must be the same. There must be a fixed price. You cannot have differential prices and just charge someone more because they happen to be poor. That seems very, very not progressive. That's punishing people for poorness. I mean, it's what they're doing in Glasgow with the ULEZ, of course, because they're punishing people who can't afford to upgrade their cars. And it's not right, is it? It's not right. Anyway, Claire Adamson has hit out at the highly questionable billing practices used by some energy giants which disproportionately impact the poorest households. It comes after the UK regulator Ofgem recently lifted a temporary ban on the forced installation of the prepayment meters, despite widespread condemnation of the use. Now, this is something that the Scottish Parliament could do in an afternoon. They would probably get all party support. They don't need... I mean, obviously, they've got They've got the majority. But this is something that they could actually do and put through Holyrood. But I think they would have all party support. It wouldn't need to go out to do, committees and hearings and papers and back. You could just propose it and then just do a standing vote. The ayes have it. And that is to say that forced, in Scotland, forced installation of these would be made illegal. It's the work of an afternoon, isn't it? Quick debate, have a vote, job's done, go to the bar. Why don't they? Why don't they do something for once? Do something good. Do something beneficial. Do something that helps people. This is one of those things where, yes, I know I'm often very much to the right side of centre when it comes to money and left side of centre where it comes to people. But this is one of these where it's money and people. And I'm always of the opinion that, do you know what? People are more important than money. And so for this one, I'm going to come down on the left, on the people side, and say ban the forced installation and help people with the bills. I mean, it's just the easiest way, isn't it? It's the more humane way. And it's a very rare thing to see someone in the SNP doing the humane choice. Unless I'm misreading it. Anyway, analysis by Citizens Advice Scotland showed that more than 20,000 households have been forced onto an electric prepayment meter, with a further 12,000 installed for gas. The devices are typically installed after a customer struggles to pay their soaring heating bills and cannot afford to pay off the debt. Adamson and SNP MSP for Motherwell and Wishaw condemned the decision to lift a ban on their installation. And again, it's just weird that I'm agreeing with her, but I do. Fuel poverty is a scourge on society, and no person should ever have to suffer that indignity, she told the Daily Record. If only Britain had some way of producing vast amounts of cheap energy. I don't know, coal or something. Who knows? I know we've got about 20,000 years worth of coal left, but if we can get out, we can maybe get 25,000 years. Anyway, while on paper energy suppliers claim to have a wide package of support available for vulnerable customers, she said, the lived realities tell a very different story. What is abundantly clear is that some energy suppliers are engaged in highly questionable billing practices, which are driving inequalities and contributing to a cycle of despair and hopelessness. That some of them are deliberately made out to put people into this so they can put these meters in and then charge even more for the energy, and they make a bigger profit. It suits the energy companies to put these in. It's a profit driver. They need to have this removed and say no, and that's it. Historic debt seems to be one of the most common problems. It's where a new tenant finds themselves saddled with the debt of the previous tenant because the meter was not reset. Ofgem has suspended forced installations while it carried out a review of this abhorrent practice. She said, I was bewildered to the Ofgem given the green light for this unethical practice to resume, despite an overwhelming amount of evidence showing the negative consequences. I think she's right. I'm not going to go all through the rest of it. It goes on a bit, and it's just basically her saying various reasons why, and it's a list of things to do. I think she's right. Well done to her. Finally, one final bit. There's something weird, but there's one piece of basically sense coming out of the SNP. Maybe she's an outlier. Maybe she's just the one who isn't completely bonkers. Who knows? I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. It is a Friday afternoon, after all. I'm coming up. So yes, I think that they should have a session and just do this. Having these meters forced upon you should be made illegal, and any meter that is installed must charge at the same rate as everyone else is paying. There should be no substantively higher rate. I think that would be fair. But anyway, what's fairness got to do with it, unfortunately? I do hope it happens, but, I won't hold my breath. Anyway, till later. Thank you very much for watching. Do please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment. Please share the video. And until next time, stay safe, stay well. And I will speak to you later. Oh, by the way, Penny Mordaunt after this one. Don't want to miss that one. Anyway, bye.